Have you ever noticed how the right pair of shoes can completely transform not just your outfit, but your confidence? Welcome to Dam's Shoes, where style meets true comfort. In today's video, we're exploring stunning, elegant, and effortlessly wearable footwear designed to elevate your everyday look without compromising on comfort. Whether you prefer refined simplicity, bold statement styles, or timeless classics, you're about to discover designs that blend fashion and functionality beautifully. But here's what makes this special. Some of the most comfortable shoes are also the most unexpectedly stylish. Make sure you stay until the end because the final selections might just become your next favorite pair. Now, let's step into style. Stop buying shoes that look great but feel terrible by lunchtime. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You see shoes that look absolutely perfect. You try them on in the store, they seem fine for those 2 minutes of standing there. You buy them, you wear them for a full day, and by noon, you're in pain. By the afternoon, you're counting down the hours until you can take them off, and by evening, your feet are destroyed. So those shoes sit in your closet unworn while you reach for the same 3 comfortable pairs over and over. This cycle ends today. The shoes we're covering work from the moment you put them on until you take them off 12 hours later. They match everything you already own without thinking twice, and they make you look polished and put together with zero effort. That's what everyday footwear should deliver. Here's what separates top comfortable everyday shoes from the ones gathering dust in your closet. It's not about choosing between comfort and style. That's a false choice that cheap shoe companies want you to believe. Real comfort and real style come from exactly the same source: quality materials, thoughtful construction, proper design. When shoes are made correctly from the beginning, they naturally look better and feel better at the same time. When they're made poorly, they fail at both. Let's start with the absolute foundation of comfortable everyday shoes, the footbed. This is literally what your foot rests on all day long. Most shoes completely fail here. They have flat, hard footbeds with zero arch support and zero cushioning. Your foot sits on what amounts to a thin piece of cardboard. After the first hour, your feet start complaining. By the third hour, you're in real discomfort. By the end of the day, you're in actual pain. This isn't because your feet are weak or sensitive, it's because the shoes are garbage. A proper footbed has 3 critical elements working together simultaneously. First, contoured arch support that matches the natural shape of your foot. Your foot isn't flat, it has curves and arches. The footbed should mirror these. When you step into the shoe, you should feel your foot settle into a supportive cradle, not an aggressive, obvious lump. A gentle, natural support that keeps your foot properly aligned throughout the day. Second, strategic cushioning in high-impact zones. Your heel strikes the ground first when you walk. That impact needs cushioning to absorb shock before it travels up your leg. The ball of your foot bears significant pressure when you push off. That area needs cushioning too. Different parts of your foot need different levels of cushioning. Quality footbeds provide exactly what's needed in each zone. Third, materials that maintain their properties over time. Cheap foam compresses on day 1 and stays compressed. Within a couple weeks, it's completely flat and useless. Quality materials compress with each step, then bounce back to their original shape. They provide consistent support and cushioning for months or years. Memory foam that actually has memory. Cork that molds to your unique foot shape permanently. High-density foam that doesn't collapse. These materials cost more, but they perform reliably every single day. Now let's talk about the materials used in the parts of the shoe you can see and touch. This is where quality becomes immediately obvious to anyone paying attention. Quality materials feel different the moment you pick up the shoe. They look richer, they have substance, they move and flex naturally, and they last dramatically longer than cheap alternatives. Leather is the gold standard for everyday comfortable shoes, and there's good reason for that. Quality leather breathes naturally, keeping your feet comfortable even during all-day wear. It molds to your specific foot shape over time, creating a truly custom fit. It looks refined and polished in any setting, and it develops a beautiful patina as it ages, actually looking better over time rather than just wearing out. Full-grain leather is the absolute highest quality. It uses the entire top layer of the hide with all the natural grain intact. It's incredibly durable. It breathes beautifully. It develops the richest patina. Shoes made from full-grain leather are genuine investments that can last for many years with proper care. Top-grain leather is the next level down, and it's still excellent quality. It's been lightly sanded to remove natural imperfections, then refinished. It's still real leather. It still breathes well. It's more affordable than full grain while delivering very good performance. Most quality everyday shoes use top-grain leather because it offers great value. Suede and nubuck provide immediate comfort because they're soft and flexible from day one. There's no stiff break-in period where you suffer through blisters hoping the shoe eventually softens. The napped surface has natural give. The texture is rich and adds visual interest to simple designs. Suede does require more maintenance than smooth leather, and it doesn't handle water well, but for dry weather everyday wear, it's exceptional for both comfort and style. Avoid synthetic materials pretending to be leather at all costs. They might look somewhat similar at first glance, especially in photos, but they perform terribly in real use. They don't breathe at all, so your feet get hot and sweaty within hours. They don't conform to your foot shape at all. They crack and peel instead of aging gracefully. They're fundamentally inferior products, regardless of how they're marketed or what the price tag says. The lining inside the shoe affects comfort just as much as the outer materials. This is what touches your skin directly all day long. Leather linings are ideal because they wick moisture away from your foot and breathe naturally. Quality fabric linings work too, but they absolutely must be natural fibers like cotton or bamboo, not synthetic materials that trap heat and moisture against your skin. The construction method determines how long shoes last and how well they support your feet. There are fundamentally different ways to attach the sole to the upper part of the shoe, and some methods create durable, supportive shoes, while others create shoes that fall apart quickly. Cemented construction is the cheapest method. The sole is simply glued to the upper. This is fast and inexpensive to manufacture, which is why cheap shoes use it, but the glue eventually fails. The sole literally separates from the shoe, and suddenly your expensive-looking shoes are unwearable trash. Cemented construction also doesn't provide proper structural integrity, which means inadequate foot support. Stitched or welted construction involves actually sewing the sole to the upper. This creates a much stronger bond that lasts for years of daily wear. It also creates better structural integrity throughout the shoe. The shoe holds its shape properly, it provides consistent support, and critically, when the sole eventually wears out from use, it can be professionally replaced. You can re-sole quality stitched shoes and wear them for several more years. This is impossible with cemented construction. The outsole, the part that actually contacts the ground, affects both comfort and safety in everyday wear. Different materials and designs serve different purposes, and for everyday comfortable shoes, you need a thoughtful balance between them. Rubber outsoles are practical and versatile for everyday wear. They provide good traction on various surfaces, including wet ones. They cushion your steps better than leather. They last a long time under regular use. But the quality of rubber varies enormously. Cheap rubber is hard and inflexible and provides minimal cushioning. Quality rubber has the right balance of flexibility and durability. The outsole needs flexibility at the toe area where your foot naturally bends when you walk. A completely rigid outsole forces you to walk unnaturally, creating fatigue and strain throughout your legs and back. Test this in the store by holding the shoe and trying to bend it at the toe area. It should flex with moderate pressure. If it won't bend at all, walking in it will be uncomfortable. But the sole also needs firmness through the arch area to provide proper support. Too much flexibility everywhere means no support at all. Your foot has nothing to push against. The ideal is flexibility where your foot naturally bends and firmness where your foot needs structural support. This balance is what makes shoes comfortable for all-day wear. Tread patterns on the sole affect both safety and aesthetics. Completely smooth soles might look elegant, but they're genuinely slippery and potentially dangerous, especially on wet or polished surfaces. You need some texture or tread pattern for grip, but the tread doesn't need to be deep and aggressive. Moderate patterns provide adequate traction while maintaining a refined appearance suitable for everyday wear. Now let's address fit, because this is where so many people go wrong even when they buy quality shoes. Shoes that don't fit properly are never comfortable, regardless of how well they're made. And poorly fitting shoes don't look good either because they affect how you walk and carry yourself. Length is the obvious measurement, but many people get it wrong. You need about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of space between your longest toe and the end of the shoe, not more. Before we close, let's address the elephant in the room that stops too many people from investing in proper everyday shoes: the price. Yes, quality, comfortable everyday shoes cost more upfront than cheap alternatives from fast fashion retailers. But focusing on that upfront price is looking at completely the wrong metric. What actually matters is the total cost of ownership and the value you receive over the shoe's entire lifetime. Let's do the real math. You buy cheap shoes for $40 or $50. They seem like a bargain, but within a few weeks, the cushioning flattens completely. The materials start breaking down. Your feet start hurting after just a few hours of wear, so you wear them less and less. Maybe you get 2 or 3 months of actual regular use before they're either falling apart or too uncomfortable to tolerate. That's $50 for 3 months of limited use. You'll need to replace them 4 times per year. That's $200 annually on shoes that hurt and look progressively worse. Now consider quality everyday shoes at $200. Expensive initially, right? But these shoes maintain their cushioning for years. The materials hold up to daily wear, the construction stays intact. You wear them almost every day because they're genuinely comfortable and they look good. Over 3 years of regular daily use, you're getting well over 1,000 wears from these shoes. $200 divided by 1,000 wears equals 20 cents per wear. Compare that to the cheap shoes costing you roughly $17 per wear before they needed replacement. The economics aren't even close. Quality is dramatically more economical when you calculate actual cost per wear. And this analysis doesn't even factor in the hidden costs of cheap shoes: the foot pain that might require doctor visits or physical therapy, the activities you avoid because walking or standing is too uncomfortable, the productivity you lose when you're distracted by hurting feet, the time wasted constantly shopping for replacements because cheap shoes wear out so quickly. These costs are completely real, even though they don't appear on the initial receipt. There's also the opportunity cost of not having proper footwear, the experiences you miss because your feet can't handle them, the invitations you decline because you know your shoes won't make it, the spontaneous adventures you skip because you're not confident in your footwear. How do you value these missed opportunities? They're difficult to quantify precisely, but they significantly impact your quality of life and your overall happiness. Consider the environmental perspective as well. Constantly buying and discarding cheap shoes creates enormous waste. All those shoes end up in landfills where they sit for decades without biodegrading. The manufacturing impact of producing constant replacements compounds the environmental damage. Quality shoes that last for years have dramatically lower environmental impact per wear. If sustainability matters to you at all, quality over quantity is the only responsible choice. The psychological benefits deserve mention too. The mental relief of opening your closet and knowing that everything actually works. The confidence of consistently looking put together without effort. The peace of mind that comes from not constantly shopping or managing around inadequate footwear. These quality of life improvements are genuinely valuable, even though they're intangible and difficult to measure precisely. Think of quality everyday shoes as an investment in yourself, in your physical comfort and health, in your confidence and professional presentation, in your time and mental energy, in your ability to move through life without unnecessary limitations. When you frame it this way, the higher initial cost isn't an expense at all. It's an investment that returns value every single day you wear the shoes. The real question isn't whether you can afford quality everyday shoes. The real question is whether you can afford to keep buying cheap alternatives that fail you repeatedly. When you honestly calculate the total economics, the health impacts, and the quality of life factors, investing in quality is the only choice that actually makes sense. You deserve shoes that serve you well. Your feet deserve proper care and support. Your daily comfort and confidence deserve to be prioritized. All of that is completely achievable. It just requires making smarter choices about where you invest your footwear budget. Stop settling for shoes that fail you. Stop accepting the false choice between style and comfort. Stop buying cheap shoes that cost you more in the long run. Invest in quality that actually works. Your feet will thank you, your body will thank you, your wallet will thank you, and your daily life will improve in ways you'll notice immediately. That's the power of truly great everyday shoes. They change everything. Thank you for watching Dam's Shoes. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss our latest collections and style guides. Your perfect everyday shoes are waiting for you. Until next time, keep stepping in style and comfort.